flight, okay. I'm on G6, okay. Forever lit, okay. Okay, I like the trick, okay. Okay, my blood, okay. I make a splash, okay. Fill up a stash, okay. I'm in my bag, okay. Don't make me mad, okay. She got attached, okay. She made a match, okay. I spent the stack, okay. Double tracks, okay. I'm in all black, okay. I drink on, okay. Got a sack, okay. I can't relax, okay. I'm paranoid, okay. I'm schizophrenic, okay. Shot when I land, okay. I'm in Japan, okay.
We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, No new friends, Football fast, they sleep again, We wake 'em up, the champs is in, We want back ends, wipe my sins, wipe it, They can't win, No new friends, Football fast, they sleep again, We wake 'em up, the champs is in, yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the race for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the white flag, they forfeit it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you broke 'em off. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck goose linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my house like my property. Do a quarterback sneakers on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I stiff him, I'm down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. All back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, No new friends, Football fast, they sleep again, We wake 'em up, the champs is in, We want back ends, wipe my sins, wipe it, they can't win, No new friends, Football fast, they sleep again, We wake 'em up, the champs is in, yeah.
I just hike the ball and I look for the open man. The zone, I'm tryna get in. Open the playbook, the book of the champion. Get flipped if you tryna get in. I got the front defense, they got the end. Going for long, on 1st and the 10. Gotta go hard, we gotta get all. No loss or excuses, cause we gotta win. They say they sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your mans and mess up your plans. Look at your stands and look at your hands. I do what I want and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fame. EA Sports, we in the game. I am the coach and the player of the game. They gon' remember the name.
We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, No new friends, Football fast, they sleep again.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Sony Michel, his first carry. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Here we go now.
On 2nd down, Michel. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Hot.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Adrian Claymore in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hot.
From the gun, Jackson stays on his feet. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to bring up the 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michelle. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! No. Check. Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hey, boys, got 4 down. Hurry up, here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. To Michelle on the dump ball. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. 319. 319. Over.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. John Brown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now 14-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Now, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On the handoff, it's Michelle. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
I after watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
He'll look to throw. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And the ball is knocked out. And the Patriots have it.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Fake. They'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. He was looking for Edelman there. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
On 2nd down, Jackson. This is caught. Gronkowski. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Rob Gronkowski with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They begin with Michelle on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And Dwayne Allen on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one, and another first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Leopard! Leopard! Check the backer.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Green 39! Green 39!
A give. This is Michelle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Tony Jefferson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Jackson. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now here come the Ravens. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
LaShawn McCoy off to the races. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, 85 yards. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. It doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
On the ground, Michelle. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
They don't
minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this.
Okay, ball. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go. Now let's go.
And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Leopard! Leopard! Here we go now.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, a 22. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Five down. Stand up in. Check 13. Check 13.
A first carry now for Alex Collins. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Alex Collins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. Tucker able to connect on the extra. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll run it. This is Michelle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Green 39.
And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
57.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
3-19.
Second down, here's an option right. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. We got 4. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run. And just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And incomplete on the deep ball. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes, and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
It's caught at the 10. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. This is Collins on the handoff. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. On 2nd and goal, and now on the pitch, the ball's loose, and the Patriots have it. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michelle. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Again, it's Michel. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. New England on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Watch the run.
They'll set up a throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Watch him now, Barney.
And it's Michel once again. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run with Michel. And all of a sudden, they're knocking on the door inside Baltimore's 10. That one good for 33 and a first.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. I hope you brought your lunches. I'm about to take you to school.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
He'll drop to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Jordy Nelson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Pats able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Space to maneuver at the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you called it the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. And
he's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 52 yards. And the Ravens add on. Tucker now for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
Watch him now, Barney!
On the ground is Michelle. Pretty move. And held running right through it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michelle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Michelle, he takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. I got one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7.
Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for New England. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
All right, here we go. 319! 319! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And an alley to run. Rashawn McCoy off to the races. Past the 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Patriots coming out now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Michelle, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
All right, here we go. 319! 319! All right, now, look at 56.
On the ground, this is Michelle. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
New England on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go. Hurry up, here we go. 319! 319!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop. the play fake. He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. Edelman, the intended receiver that time. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Gun! Hey! 4 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
I like when birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. LED logo the tag. I go in back of the. They all from that. My diamonds, they all look at. This, that. I go to bed on back. I got the beam in the flats. I got a in the back. Haters, they talk the chat. They step on the rock, don't man. I'm a K back. 400K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they scamming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the jet and they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, my we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, my we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, any 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I got my. I go to hotels when I step out, yeah, your boy got a doorman. I go to nightclubs with a. Yeah, they call me the madman. I ain't no madman. I just go crazy, man. Ball hard, can't face, man. Choppers, rip wasteland. This what happen when you give it a taste life and you give it a wasteland. This what happen when you give it a fake life and then the ape in. I live with birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. I live with birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, you from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle. Trump's in 96. You were shook with Reeves and all the ledge. What's that? I smell. Let me count my. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a. Here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. The mother ride or die for my. Strictly for my. Survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm in deep cover, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? The warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. 2 words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This. On that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York, with a pitchfork.
I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin' when I up it, I'ma squeeze. Bad companies, bad for your company. Bad companies, bad for your company. In the ski mask, in case you come for me. Got it. In the ski mask, in case you come for me. When I say I got beef, they don't want no beef. When they say they got beef, they don't wanna eat. If he said he want, they don't want no steam. She put it on it. Had a bachelor's degree, PhD while selling. Fix the face and fix the weed. Now working on the self-esteem. Hit a block, yo this flop. Where you at? Pin it. My new map location be the flop on the app.
You can't hang, baby. We don't want you around here. Ice on my neck in this froze. Santa's reindeer. You got bad. It's the same here. Bad company, little bro. You can't hang here. Getting money, so the keep on coming. Phone ringing, so you know the jumping. They looking at me. He owe me some money. Hit him with the night the crumping. Whitey playing games. They don't want no problems with me. Got good. You know I brought them. Might not hit a bad. Someone send them were opposition. They move on. So I
Dark shades, too much. I could barely see them. Acting brand new like I don't see it when I do. Who them folks going too close? In the room, on the boat, play it close, do the most. Don't say bad company. Bad company, that's bad for your company. Bad cow disease, now you in a ton of beef. Tuck underneath my new blue Dunkaroos. Flintstone, bust down, color Murakami. Fruity Pebble, Basil, Wilma, Betty, Fred, and Barney. Bad from out of town, I think she modeled Abercrombie. Wrist game, lucky charmy, told my jeweler leprechaun me. I'ma come clean, I got beef. Paranoia got me rolling on my sleeves, okay. Hating cause I'm upping up the fees. Whole team got these on their tees all day. I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin' when I up it, I'ma squeeze.
I'm above average.
My have an all white rank. Couldn't hit if had ain't. Lanes can't call and you lame. You had it and you lost it, all the shame. I can buy a Billy, don't talk to me. For a show 150, don't talk to me. You ain't never help your mans, don't talk to me. You just follow all the trends, don't talk to me. I set the bar, I'm the bar. Look in the sky, I'm a star. I don't fall in love cause I be loving. They ain't like my shirt, extra large. I don't care, I crash a ghost. Got 2 cribs and 2 states, I be doing the most. I got white folks money that I won't blow. And if you ask why, cause the white folks don't. Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank. Type of money you gon' need a sight. The type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank.
Everything proper, no propaganda. Tropicana Gold Yard bandana. Big, a lot of like Santa. Threw a birthday party in a phantom. Big like a dinosaur did it.
what you gon' do if I leave? I said, I'ma do me. B.I.G. Everything zoomed in. Big on me looking like I'm moving in. Got my foot in the door and we still here. I'm a first generation millionaire. I broke the curse of my family not having. I'm passionate like just after more than just cashing. Feed me to the wolves, now I lead the packing. You boys all cap, I'm more Colin Kaepernick. I'm rare as affordable healthcare. Or going to wealth from welfare. I turn my W's to those. I might buy a red bottoms with the crypto. 3 coins that'll pay your whole semester. But you got it better than a Tesla.
Big bank, tight, low, buy. Big bank, tight, low, buy. Type of money you gon' need to sight. The type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low, buy. Big bank, tight, low, buy.
Back again, back to back, made back, stacked it. I'm a Slim Shady, the M. Once he black, he'll be back again. Tell him that it's crunch time abdomen. Yes, I caught Mad Chanel and Mad Javin. She did it again, imagine them. About to make these bums mad again. Back to them. I lead the pack, so my back's to them. Yup, the queen's back, what's happening? Rerun